Okay. All right. We should be live. We're a couple minutes late. Sorry about that, but had a few issues with the new system. Playing around with it here before showtime and had a few issues. And let me see if I can show this still here. See if this will work. Okay, there. Yeah, we're able to show the lovely Brianna, briefitdance.com, able to do that, but I was having some problems with putting the bug in the upper right-hand corner, and so I'm going to have to sort that out after the show airs. So, but at least I guess we're functional. And so, this is an emergency broadcast. I wasn't planning on doing a broadcast today, but some things came up that we need to address. And one of which is I have to clean these glasses. These glasses are a mess. And I'll tell you, I hate plastic lenses with the passion. You know, they come out with these things and they say it's an improvement, right? But often it's not an improvement. Like, for example, the super case on the sub, on the Rolex sub. That was a total fail. And plastic lenses are also a total fail. Glasses, much easier to clean, much easier to clean. I don't care what coatings they put on the plastic. I don't care what they do. It is a fail. Okay, so let me see if I can find this video. Total fail and plastic. I do know that I don't have to worry about the chipmunk voice. I think that's been put to bed completely. No issues with the chipmunk voice, at least for now. Lance was in the house, and Bree said hello. And let's see, Tom's in the house. Lance, make sure you send in some emails. Need a longer show than last night. Tom in the house. And I'll send in one or two, says Lance. And I think the lovely Brianna is going to join us also. I think she's going to Skype in. She's planning a show of her own. And we want to gin up some support for her show. It's going to be here on the network. She's going to have her own show that she's going to produce. So Leslie's in the house. And she says hello to the lovely Briefit Dance, briefitdance.com, and CraigShipp, and hello to the lovely Leslie. Absolutely. And we do want to report on that Rolex, because that might be what we're going to have to get for Brianna. We might have to go the Rolex route for the lovely Brianna because she too is very active, just like Leslie. And I believe, Leslie, correct me if I'm wrong, don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you wear your watch all the time pretty much? Let us know in the chat, because that's what Bree is planning on doing with the watch that she gets. She's planning on wearing it pretty much all the time, so she needs something that can handle heavy-duty use, extreme use, and swimming in both freshwater and saltwater, and hot tubs, jacuzzis, all these kinds of things, and dancing. It has to be able to handle dancing and hula hooping. Maybe the hoop's going to hit the watch from time to time, so it needs to be shock resistant. Speaking of a durable piece, I think this stunner right here is pretty durable as well, because it's got the spring drive, which is known to be extremely robust. And I'm wearing another Gitman Brothers shirt today that is also size 15.5, 33, so it's a little more wee, if you will. And so the cuffs are even tighter than normal. But like I said yesterday, or whenever the last time was I wore this like this, the neat thing about the 002 is it can actually be worn outside the cuff and even on the low side of the bone, and it still is comfortable. Very rare to have a watch that can be comfortable in that type of a situation, but this is one of them that does that. I wear my watch all the time, says Leslie. There you go. And do tell, how is it holding up? And what is the latest report on the accuracy? Carlos says, my wife has been wearing her Oyster Perpetual 26 every day for 2 months. Okay. Fantastic. OP26. By the way, the AD said now they only have the OP28. Is that correct? That they don't make the 26 mil watch anymore? Is that verified? If so, that's interesting. That's interesting. By the way, speaking of the lovely Brianna, there is her website, briefitdance.com. briefitdance.com. Learn all about her there. And also let me know if the audio is sounding okay. My meters are pretty much maxing out, but I'm hoping it's not clipping and everything is copacetic on your end. And let's see, camera 3 is showing, okay, so it's showing that it's grayed out. Camera 2 is showing it doesn't even have a feed. Cam 1, of course, has no feed. That's interesting. Why Cam 3 is acting like it's got a feed. Let's see here. I don't think so, at least until 2 months ago. They're really nice, the ladies' Rolex. Kyle in the house. Rolex sounds good to start with, or the Apple Watch. Yeah, by the way, you have to try an Apple Watch and see how it fits, Bree. You have to try the smaller one. They only make 2 sizes, so you're going to have to try it on wrist. I believe they have them at Best Buys. They might sell them at Walmart. I'm not sure. But go somewhere where you can try one on and see if that watch would fit you on wrist. Oh, because it might be a good idea, because you're so active on social media and all, it might be helpful to you to have an Apple Watch. But I think it would be classier to wear the Rolex, just saying. So yeah. But I'm not anti-Apple Watch. You know, I did a video about them. I wore one for a couple of years. Back when they first came out, I wore it. And it was kind of cool. But I just, drifted back to the high-end watches, just the way it happened. Derek's probably going to want to talk about date 8s. Did you post the film from Rolex, Craig, the trip to your store? No, I didn't film it because my phone was being repaired at the time and I had no camera on me. And so my phone was in the Apple store, literally having the battery replaced when I was wandering around the mall, killing an hour of time. And that's when I wandered into the AD. I don't know if he would have let me run video or not when I was in there. I don't know if he'd have let me do that or not. But it is what it is. Tom says Bree needs both. Oh, okay. Oh, excuse me. All right, Tom, let's make a deal. I'll get her the Rolex, and you get her the Apple Watch. What do you think about that deal? But it would have to be the Apple Watch in stainless steel. And we have to make sure it's going to fit her, because there's no sense getting one if it isn't going to fit. Her wrist is tiny, 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 tiny. Leslie, have you ever tried on, since you also have a tiny wrist, have you ever tried on an Apple Watch, the new smaller of the 2 sizes? Have you ever tried that on? Let me know in the chat. Oh, boy. And so there's some more. I'll tell you that people, I think that these days, I think what we run into a lot of times is a lot of people just don't think things through. They just want to post things on social media and they want to interact on the forums and they just make comments, right? Without even thinking them through. And I've seen some comments recently, 2 different subject matters. Some watch related, some not. But the common theme is that people seem to post comments and information to kind of like go along with the crowd and to kind of and or to promote their agenda. And some of the things that they say are just clearly not accurate, and clearly they're misleading people and or outright scamming people. And so, we've got to watch out. We've got to keep our eyes open and so on. One thing I've noticed, I've got a radical leftist that's a friend of mine, Kai Hagen, on Facebook. He's an elected official here in Frederick County, and he is a friend of mine on Facebook. But he's a radical leftist. And so now he's pivoting, And he's pivoting back from COVID, because COVID seems to be getting under control, right? The virus thing. Now he's pivoting back to climate change, that it's dire circumstances, and that if we don't all do something immediately, basically we're all going to die, the doom and gloom thing, right? And I just posted a simple thing on this post that he posted saying all this. I just posted a simple thing saying, have you ever heard the story about the boy that cried wolf? Right? And he replied back with some smart reply. And so I said, here's the thing. I mean, it hurts your credibility when you constantly come out with all this doom and gloom that's going to happen. Within a very short period of time, all these terrible things are going to happen, and then the things don't happen, right? They've been predicting all these dire consequences to, quote, global warming for decades now, and pretty much none of them have come true. And I said, it just kind of hurts your credibility when you do that. I said, don't you think? And I said, listen, absolutely there's something called climate change. It happens all the time. Florida, for gosh sakes, used to be underwater. Long time ago, right? Thousands of years ago. It was underwater. The whole freaking state was underwater. Many, many thousands of years ago, there were glaciers all over North America. I think down into like South Carolina, way, way down. And there were glaciers, right? I mean, it's an ice age. Many, many, many thousands of years ago, maybe millions of years ago, whenever the heck it was, right? Clearly the climate changes. Constantly the climate's changing. But it generally is not something to be concerned about short term. It takes a very long time for these things to happen, and mankind will probably be extinct way before there are any major consequences to climate change. So there you go. But these people, it doesn't stop them. They'll just post any kind of lunacy, just absolute lunacy, on social media. All right, here's a watch. That is interesting. I do like that. I've always liked the turnograph. I think it's a cool piece. And this one with the black dial, with the gold, and again, I'm not a big steel and gold fan, but this is an attractive looking piece for somebody who does like steel and gold. And it doesn't look like it has a horrendous amount of stretch. Looks to be in pretty good condition all the way around. And not a hateful price. I think $61.77. Good find. 2 thumbs up on the turnograph. 2 thumbs up on the turnograph. Lance comes up with some goodies sometimes. Lance comes up with some goodies. Here's a Casio. There's a Casio. Okay. So I guess Leslie has a cool Casio also. There you go. Abso-positively-lutely. And let's see what else. Let's get caught up here. Let's see. Apple Watches are not really my style. I hear you, Leslie. I hear you. But they are useful. Leslie says, but I have a lot of friends who own one and love it. I was just wondering about fit on the wrist. Let's see. The thing is, it's not because of mankind that the climate change, but mankind accelerate the process. Yeah, but it's immaterial. I mean, it doesn't really matter if mankind accelerates the process or not. It's still not a big deal, right? I mean, it gets a little warmer here and there or whatever. I mean, it's not like all this doom and gloom that they're predicting is going to happen. That's the problem, is it ain't going to happen. And they probably don't care about their long-term credibility because they're just looking for short-term results. They're looking to win an election, right? Like in months' time, right? They're not worried about whether or not their doom and gloom predictions come true 20 years from now, right? Because what they've done is they moved the goalposts anyway. When they first started making their dire predictions like 20 or 30 years ago, that, by the year 2000, we're all going to be dead and all this kind of stuff. They realized that since none of that came true, now what they're doing is they're very smart. Now their predictions, they're kicking it out like 100 years. They're saying 100 years from now, this, that, and the other thing's going to happen, right? So they know that everybody's going to be dead, right? So there's not going to be anybody around to call them out on their lies, right? Because, hey, 100 years from now, it's going to be a whole new group of people, right? And nobody's going to go back historically and look at all these lunatics and what they said about all these predictions, right? Nobody's going to go back and parse all that 100 years from now. So it's really genius the way they do this, the way they perpetuate these absolutely insane predictions. I was told when I bought my house, it's been almost 20 years ago now, in Florida, when I bought my house, I was told that within 10 years it would be underwater because of climate change. I actually had to sign a thing when I bought the house. It was actually in all the disclosure documents, right, that the house could potentially be underwater. The level of the water hasn't changed 1 inch in that time. It hasn't moved at all. You go to Siesta Beach, it's the same as it was 20 years ago. Nothing's changed, right? There's erosion in different places because of storms and because of currents and so forth. There are islands, little islands that get eroded and so forth, and then there are, other areas that don't, and that all happens. But the the concept that it's going to be doom and gloom, and there are going to be these horrendous storms, that are going to these like mega hurricanes or whatever they called them, right, in those movies. You remember those movies where everything gets wiped out? Now, what could wipe everything out is if that super volcano goes off out west. Where is it at? Yellowstone or whatever, wherever that super volcano, right? If that sucker goes off, that could be dire consequences there. Let's see. Carlos says humanity is good about solving slow-moving catastrophes. Economy and science will solve it. Is good about solving slow-moving catastrophes. Economy and science will solve it. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's a catastrophe. That's the thing. I think the fact that climate changes very slowly and gradually over a long period of time is just the way it is. I wouldn't call that a catastrophe. Now, if all of a sudden things started, like we started getting these superstorms they're predicting and all these dire consequences that they're talking about, then absolutely we'd have to deal with it and we'd have to react and so on and so forth, right? But I don't think any of those things are going to happen. I think those are just total pipe dreams on their part to try to push their agenda. I just don't see any evidence that it's going to happen. They were already predicting that hurricane seasons were going to be a lot worse by now, that we're going to have a lot more hurricanes every year, and they're going to be more powerful than ever and all that. And that hasn't happened either. We've actually had less hurricanes the last several years than normal. And so that hasn't happened either. None of their predictions have come true. So other than that, they're doing a good job. Let's see. Jay Leno is said to own an impressive watch collection, but he only ever wears an Apple Watch on his garage show. He probably uses it to coordinate with his camera crew. Well, they're very useful. They're very useful in a lot of ways. Let's see. We should be careful too, says Carlos. Careful about what? Blame volcanoes, not mankind. Let's see here. And Clive says Trump in 2020. Leslie says, Craig, are the hair salons open in Maryland? Yes. Yes, they are. You need to come get your hair done? Come on, I've got a good one right here in Thurmont. They'll take good care of you. It's open. You're implying that I should get a haircut? I should. I need to get another haircut. I've gotten one since the whole COVID thing happened, and so I'm due to get another one. Fisto Bozer says, Craig, how dare you be so inconsiderate of my children's. There you go. Absolutely. Don't you mean your children's? Yeah, I think it's more like that. Trashy Larry, I'm a known offender. I litter all the time. Carlos says, since then, CFC issue has been solved. It seems that Generation 3 nuclear energy can be a good solution for short-term clean energy. Yeah, but aren't they aren't all these radicals anti-nuclear? I think they're all anti-nuclear. So, yeah, that's the problem with all that. Trashy Larry's in the house. See, the problem is Carlos is too sensible about some things. See, these radicals, they don't want to be sensible. Okay? Forget about being sensible. Trashy Larry. Lance, what's your dad's take? Kyle's in the house. Craig, what do you think of the Dubai X-Backs video on the new sub? I didn't see his, but I saw Bear Clooney. I saw his little thing about it. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I think that there is no evidence that they're going to fix the super case, so I wouldn't have any interest in it. I'm not going to buy a watch with an ugly case. So I don't care if they... And by the way, if they put a blue bezel on it and keep the black dial, I think that's a fail. I think that's a total fail. I think if they're going to go blue, it needs to be all blue. And I don't care if it undermines the Smurf or whatever. I mean, that's insane. I mean, why would they care? I mean, you know, they can sell a ton of these things. They'll do it, right? So if they're going to go blue, they should go all blue. But we'll see what they do in a couple days, right? We'll know in a couple days what they do. But like I say, if they don't fix the case, the super case, then it would be a 2 thumbs down from me. So, yeah. What did the Dubai expat say? What did he say? Let's see. And Lovely Bree, are you around? Are you going to Skype in? Let me get Skype. Make sure that Skype is running here. Yes, Skype is ready. Skype is ready for the lovely Brianna to call in when she's going to call in. It is 5:26, and don't worry about the delay. There is a delay, but it is what it is. There's the stunner on wrist. And I'll tell you what, I put out the challenge for somebody to find a more attractive dress watch than the 002 Stunner. The 002 Stunner. And so far, nobody's been able to do it. Nobody's been able to do it. Let's see. Gavin Newsom said his economic relief package for business will prioritize minority and woman-owned businesses. Ridiculous considering that's a fraction of the economy. Okay. California's got some serious issues. Absolutely. It's a shame, too, because it's a beautiful state, but too dry. Too dry. A lot of areas are too dry. I'm not a big fan of dust, and I'm not a big fan of desert areas that much. I mean, they're fun to go through like certain times of the year when everything's, all the flowers are blooming and stuff. There's certain times of the year that deserts are just absolutely beautiful, right? But that's a very small portion of the time of the year. Now, I will say that Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Steele or whatever, the guy that does the RV videos. He's got a cool channel. He did a tour of the motor coach resort in Las Vegas, outside of Las Vegas, and that is really cool. Really cool place. It's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the strip, and it's a really cool resort. I was tempted to buy a spot there. They're you buy the spots, and then they will rent them out when you're not using them, and it's pretty good situation there. They range anywhere from about $125,000 for the cheapest one in there up to $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. I mean, they have a wide range of prices depending on how much they've been built up, and some of them have like exterior like entertaining areas and exterior kitchens and storage rooms and all kinds of stuff that augment, where you park your coach. You park your coach, and then they've got, all these like built up things around it. And then some of them aren't built up at all, right? So that's why there's a big price difference. But they're very interesting, very, very interesting to have something like that to go from time to time and then rent out the rest of the time. California is an amazing place. Yeah, there's some amazing places there. Absolutely, I love the redwood forest, the sequoias, all that kind of stuff is all real cool. There are some areas there that are not deserts, but and that are pretty amazing. But most of the places around, of course, L.A. and of course Palo Alto, California, Silicon Valley, that area. Most of those areas have to be heavily irrigated in order to have any lush vegetation or anything, because a lot of those areas are straight up deserts. So there you go. Kyle's in the house. I sent you a video link. Go to 45 seconds from the start. Okay, let me try that. Let's try that.
Hi, it's Stacey Abrams.
Freaking ad.
There is a huge fundraising deadline coming up for Senate Democrats.
Skip that.
Hey guys, and welcome. Till now, I thought I would skip this topic, but I found these pictures now floating in the internet. The first one looks like a Rolex catalog page, and the font fits. It shows us a new sub with a green bezel, which should be the same color like the one the Hulk uses. Besides that, the lugs seem to be slimmer, and it says the case size is now 41mm. Movement is updated.
By the way, I don't think the lugs are slim enough. Maybe they've slimmed them down a little bit, but they could have done a little more.
To the 3235, as the text says, Paraflex shock absorbers. So this indicates us it's the new movement. In addition, I saw a leak of the full range, so we should also get the blue bezel. Of course, I cannot say if this is a reliable source and if this will...
It doesn't look terrible with the blue bezel with the black dial and or the green bezel with the black dial, but I think they should have a green dial with the green and a blue dial with the blue. I think it would look a lot better, a lot classier. So...
will be the Submariners we are getting. I think the case shape, the movement, and also a different color version would make sense. And probably by having a Submariner with a green bezel, they will discontinue the Hulk. So
okay, so I think that the it's not just slimming the lugs, it's kind of curving them. I think they could have had the edges softer. And yeah, I think they could have done more there. We'll see. We'll see when they actually release the watches what the deal is. But if they're making steps in that direction, if albeit baby steps, I mean it's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing. So yeah. My favorite place in the world that I know so far is the terrace at the end at Spanish Bay near to Pebble Beach. Okay, cool. Cool. Pebble Beach is pretty cool. I'll tell you what, though, I prefer Sarasota. I really do. It's just in the wintertime. Now, of course, not in the summertime. But in the wintertime, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Craig, I do road trips ghetto style. I'll take naps in my car at rest stops and just check into a hotel when I get to my destination. Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you're young. When you're a young man, you can do all those kinds of things. Absolutely. I agree. Kyle's in the house. I wasn't expecting more than what they did when they updated the Batman to what is now the back girl. The only slimmed it up ever so slightly. Yeah, and again, it's not just the slimming, it's those slab sides and how sharp everything is. Remember the older subs, they were more flowing, and let me see if I can pull up the the photo. Give me a second here. See if I can do this. Okay, I'm going to say on air. Okay, so there's Brief Fit Dance. Now let me see if I can find the red sub. I think I have a picture in here. Oh, darn it, I can't find it. Well, let's show the date while we're here. We can do that. Let me see. Let me look again and see if I can find the red sub. I thought surely I put it in here. Darn it, I'm going to have to add it. I don't see it here. Okay, I'm going to have to add it to my canned photos here. Let's look at a couple of macro shots. Look at that. How cool is that? And let's take one more look at Steve with the faux pay bracelet and the 002. That always looks stunning. And we'll go back to the lovely Brianna and then take that off air. Okay. I thought I had the picture of the red sub in there. I'm going to have to add it. But if you think about what the cases look like on those, that's what I'm talking about. It was much more flowing. Just a gorgeous looking case on those. That's all they need to do is go back to that. Let's see. Will the first gen ceramic, I guess you meant ceramic, subs tank if they really do this? You mean in price? Who knows? I mean, I think a lot of the older watches are becoming harder and harder to sell. I think the market's a lot softer than people will let you know. So I think it's a dicey proposition to expect these watches to hold their value. I think a lot of people are going to get a rude awakening that think that that's going to happen. Best bet is to buy the watch that you really like and wear it and use it. Don't worry about the resale value. If you're worried about resale, just make sure you got a really good buy on the watch initially. Just a really good buy. It's how people make money on cars. That's how people make money on real estate, on anything. It's made at the buy when you buy it. You got to buy it right. Kyle's in the house. The way the Yachtmaster case flows is perfect. If only it was the same on the sub. Exactly. That they could do that. They could absolutely do that. What year did you sell your Day-Date? I don't remember. A couple years ago? Maybe was it 2 years ago? It was after I got the 231. I had the 231 for a period of time, and I had that with it, and then I sold the Day-Date after that. Probably about 2 years ago, because I think I've had the 231 about 2.5 years now. Something like that. The most recent Day-Date, if that's what you're asking about. Okay, so Lance is in the house. Sent a link to a Seiko Spring Drive Diver GMT. Okay, we'll take a look. Rolex is probably too careful to mess with any major revisions to the sub, and with good reason. Why mess with what has been so successful? It's just looking tired to me. Give me a GS any day. Maybe I could Skype in. Absolutely. Yes, we're ready. Let me show this photo real quick, Bree. And then call in. Let's see here. I'm going to show this photo. Looks like a heavy-duty piece. New with tags. But again, I mean, it's almost like a Tudor-like type thing where they kind of like uglied it up a little bit so that people will, I guess, still buy the Grand Seiko, right? And see, look how how thick that looks and how tall it looks like it would be on the wrist. Yeah, I think I would just go with the 231. My gosh, for that kind of money, you could buy a 231. You could buy that watch right there for $5,000. I mean, my gosh, are you kidding me? I would go for this instead of that. Not in a million years would I do that. Yeah, not in a million years. Okay. All right, so we'll hopefully the lovely Bree will call in and we can talk about her upcoming show that she's in the production stages. She's producing her own show. I think Kyle and Leslie should think about producing their own show. I think that would be cool. The Kyle and Leslie show. There you go. By the way, these 2-3 is much more graceful. Exactly. So the Black Magic switchers, this switcher, they're starting to become more available. And I actually saw one on eBay that is being sold for a little bit less than list price, which, you know, they had waiting lists everywhere for them. But obviously they've caught up on the production, and they're starting to become more available. So, yeah, anybody that wants to have their own show can get an ATEM Mini Pro switcher. Still need to have a couple of cameras and some other stuff, but it's going to get much more affordable and easier to do that. Compass bezel is not useful, says Carlos. I see. Let's see. Kyle says, let's be honest. I wouldn't be needed. The Leslie show is all people want to see. Well, who was that talk show? Regis and what was his cohort's name? You know, they were really good together. They played off each other, and they had a really interesting show. Regis and Kathy Lee or something, Gifford, whatever her name was. Remember that? That was cool. You guys could do a show, something like that. That'd be cool. Okay. Speaking of cool shows, here comes the lovely Bree into the mix. Okay.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, and you're out there enjoying the beautiful weather. It's beautiful today.
It is. Yes.
Okay.
No rain today.
So what were you doing today?
Well, I was just starting to really think about the show and like organizing and outlining my live show segments.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So your show basically is going to be a lot more organized than my show.
It could be, yes.
Definitely. Because this show is not very organized. So your show is going to be...
Spontaneous. It's as spontaneous.
Yes. That's a nice way of saying it. So Regis just died recently. Yes, he did. Let's see, Tom knows. Okay. Yeah, Tom said he's laughing and says Kyle made a good point. Okay, so all right, so Bree, when is your show going to premiere?
On the 11th.
So a week from Friday.
Right. Like in two Fridays.
Okay, and do you think you're going to be able to do it at 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
5 is good.
Okay, and so just to give them a slight little tease of what they're going to see, just give us just a real quick little outline of what your show is going to be about. Don't tell them everything, just a little bit.
Well, I'm going to basically talk about like fitness, gift tips, like probably techniques about belly dancing, health as well.
Okay.
and a lot more stuff.
So really a fun, upbeat, interactive show.
Yes, definitely. And I can have some guests
Okay. So,
if anyone is interested. You know, I can have any guests
well, there
on
you
the show.
go. Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Right.
hey, maybe Kyle and Leslie can be your first guest.
Oh,
If
sure. If they're available,
if
that would be great.
if they're around a week from Friday, then yeah,
Yeah.
let us know as we get closer to that day. We can talk about it. But and let's see. And Fisto says sounds like it would appeal to women. Yeah, but I mean, I think men should take fitness and health seriously too. Don't you think?
Yeah. It's not all about belly dancing or just dancing. It's about like taking care of yourself physically and mentally too.
And you're going to talk about nutrition and things like that apply to both males and females,
Yeah,
right?
and style that can be applied to
Yeah. So
everyone.
you're gonna do it all. You're gonna do it all. All right. Well, I think it's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
Mid Atlantic
I think
TV is happy to be a sponsor. We're one of your sponsors, and
yeah.
we're happy to be a sponsor. And let's see. Carlos says, "Are you going to have Craig as a guest for the belly dance lessons?" Yeah, we might do that on one of the shows. We might absolutely do that on one of the shows. Let's see. Clive says, Bree is looking fit these days. She wants a baby girl. I have a couple for sale. So a couple of baby G. He said baby G. I don't know if he means baby girl or what's baby G. I'm not sure
I
what that
think he
is.
means baby girl.
Baby girl. He has a couple for sale. He's actually selling his baby girls. By the way, I think that's a troll. I don't think that's a real Clive. Jaden's in the house, and okay. Leslie says yes, we should totally do something. Okay, smiley face. Okay, so mark it down. That's the 11th, September 11th. So okay, you got the hoop. What are you going to do? You going to demonstrate something for us?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Live on the show. What are you going to show us?
Well, I can do. I guess I can show the roll, the red chest roll.
Okay.
So, like, it won't be perfect.
That's okay. That's all right. You're working on it. Okay, do it again.
Like, I have to really like focus,
Mm-hmm.
and then
That's a difficult trick to do.
it is. So
Now, you're also practicing doing it around the waist too, right? Just hooping normal around the waist?
yeah, like that.
So you're getting that down.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Now show us the isolation one more time. There it goes. I like the isolations. And the two hand with the ghosting. You're starting to get that down. That is
Yeah.
good. You're starting to get that down. And there's another one where they kind of wipe their hands around it, sort of.
Oh, like this. Or,
Well, and where the other hand kind of like goes around the hoop.
oh, let's see. Might not even.
Sort of like that. Yeah, it's sort of like that. Yeah. All right. Very good. You're getting there. And it's going to start all coming together as you get all the moves down and then you know, get the whole thing where you can put everything together. Because a lot of it is the dancing skills you already have. You just have to master the hooping skills. And then you can
Right.
incorporate the dancing in with the hoop. All right, folks, let us know if you have any questions for Bree before we let her go. Oh, Baby G is a Casio. Okay, so he's got a couple of Casio watches for you. Okay, send them on. We'll take a look. Let's see here. Fisto says, I sent some pics of a lady date just for Bree to critique. Okay, we'll do that as soon as she finishes. We will do that. Let's see. I think it's a Baby G Casio he's referring to. We don't want to sell babies anymore. Fisto says, Craig, what's causing the sweet potato shortage? I don't know, but they haven't had them at Costco the last couple times. They have not had
really?
sweet potatoes. They've had regular potatoes, but not sweet potatoes. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes are
very
really healthy.
very nutritious. Yeah. All right. Well, folks, if you have any last second questions for Bree, get them in the chat because we're going to let her get back to her exercising. So you got to get those questions in before she takes off. And you got to get so that you can have the hoop go down on your legs and come back up. That's the tricky one, right?
Yeah, I can go around my neck though, a little bit, but it just falls.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. You just got to keep working at it. The hoop will kind of beat you up a little bit though, right?
It will.
It kind of smacks you and yeah. Let's see. Trashy Larry says, any more for Bree? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's coming up on 8 minutes to 6. 8 minutes to 6. All right. Well, we're going to let you go, Bree, and then I'm going to show this picture. Can you watch so you can comment in the chat?
Yes.
Okay.
I will watch.
Okay. All right. BreeFitDance.com. Thank you, young lady.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
There you go. It's very encouraging to see somebody, a young person who is positive and wants to make good things happen and isn't feeding into all the doom and gloom. And here is the Datejust. I wonder what size that Datejust is. I'm not a big Roman numeral fan, and that, of course, does not have any lume. But it is interesting looking. It is interesting looking. Let's take a look at the other photo. There you go. So, and also, I think if she's going to go Datejust, I think she should get a Jubilee bracelet with a Datejust. I think that would be a good move. So, and I wonder what size that is. It might be too big for her. Let's see. Bree won't settle for less than a Rolex. There you go. Sent a Daytona email, Jaden says. Let's see. And let's see. Bree won't. Okay. Where are Lamont and Megan? Hello today. Scott is in the house. Okay, and she says it looks nice. The Rolex looks nice. Absolutely it does. And so there you go. And we're going to take a look at this Daytona. See if I can get this to load in. Here is a yellow gold Daytona. Mint Rolex Daytona. It's a 6-digit, white dial, yellow gold, which of course if I was going to go gold, I would always go yellow gold. I think it's a good looking watch. If you like a Daytona, then yeah, absolutely. And I mean, people pay that much sometimes for almost that much for a steel Daytona, right? Why would you do that when you can buy this one, right? Why would you do it? Let's see if we can take a look at all the pictures. I mean, if you wanted something different, they're nice and trim on the wrist, right? They're nice and trim. If you wanted something different, you didn't want to go for a date 8. See, that kind of money, you could get a nice date 8, right? You could get a brand new one for that, right? With the ceramic sleeves and everything. But if you wanted something different, then this one fits the bill. They're very trim on the wrist. It could be an all-arounder. Let's see. Craig, is a screw-down crown a requirement on the watch you'll get for Brie? I think we should go that way. I do. I just think we should go that way because the one that Leslie got they're very affordable and they're really a nice, beautiful watch, I think. Scott says, I beg to differ, Craig. Differ about what? Jaden says, Panda money for gold. There you go. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, I would buy that way before I'd spend like stupid money on a steel one. Absolutely. All right. We got about 4 minutes left till 6 o'clock. And it's been a pretty decent show. And I guess it's going to be, when's it going to be? Is it going to be Tuesday that we're going to hear about the new watches? When's the official announcement? Does somebody know what time, what day and time? I think you would be very happy with the Rolex Leslie got Brie. I think you would be very happy with the Rolex Leslie got Brie. In other words, he's saying that to Brie. Yeah, I think she liked that watch. I think she liked that watch a lot. Yeah. And let's see if that other watch that was that I put on my wish list, let's see if it is still available because it is interesting too. I put it on my watch list. Let me look here. Oh, no, wait. I'm confused. I don't think it was eBay. No, it was Chrono 24. Give me a second here. Let me pull up Chrono 24. And I'll go to my watches here. And my notepad. Yeah, this one. This is very, very interesting. And this watch is still available. I'm really surprised that this is not sold. I think that's a good-looking dial, too. I wonder if Brie is still watching. Probably not. She's probably doing her exercises. But I think that's a neat-looking watch. And that's a really good deal. And it seems like it's in real good shape. Just looking at it here. I kind of like the looks of that one too. With a nice touch of blue, a bluish purplish, right? A little bit of a purple tone to that, and Brianna loves purple, but it's a shame they're not straight up purple. If they were absolute purple, that would be like a definite fit for her. So, yeah. Let's see. Wait, Craig, hold off. Okay, Bree is in the chat, so maybe she'll look at the one that I'm showing right now and comment on that. Let's see. And Bree says, it's a great looking Rolex watch that Leslie has. Yep. And Derek's in the house. We were going a bit over today to compensate. I believe it's noon, September 1, Swiss time. Okay, so Tuesday, 12 p.m. Geneva time, around 5 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I don't think I'll be up at 5 a.m., unfortunately. And Leslie says, agree. And very nice Oyster Perpetual. So, Carlos, are you commenting on the one that's on the screen right now? And Briefit Dan says, wow. And Kyle says, get that. Bree says, very classy. And Kyle says, so good. So you like the one that's on the screen now? Put a Y in the chat if you like the one that's on the screen now. Put a Y in the chat. Carlos says, yes, superb watch. Okay, so just to be clear, we're talking about the one that's on the screen right now, right? Put a Y for yes in the chat and an N for no. So a Y means yes. Carlos has put a bunch of Ys. Oh my goodness. He's put a bunch of Ys. Does Bree need a date feature? No, I don't think she needs a date feature. She can get the date on her phone. I think a date just clutters things. Lance says yes. Tom says yes. Tim says, everybody says yes. Kyle says yes. Carlos is rigging the election. And Leslie says yes. This is a unanimous thing. Also nominating Tom for a wrench. Lamont has one and he doesn't. Does Tom want one? Does Tom want a wrench? Put a Y in the chat, Tom, if you want a wrench. Put another Y in the chat if you want a wrench, and we'll give you a wrench. I've received some mail-in ballots to spare. Let's see. Derek says yes. Well, should I just go ahead and buy it now for her? What are you guys saying? I mean, should this just be it? No more discussion? Leslie is laughing out loud. Let's see what else is happening here. I'm waiting on Tom to put a Y in, saying that he wants a wrench. Tom doesn't know what a wrench is, but would be great to be part of the group. Okay, wrench allows you to be a moderator. So if somebody puts something inappropriate in, you can smack them over the head with the wrench. So I just gave you a wrench. Blue says hello. Derek says Blue is in the house. What do you say, Derek? Lance says, buy that watch now. What watch Bree gets is like, what watch Bree gets is like 1/3 of the show. We can't leave Craig. Derek says, if that is what Bree wants, yes. All right, Bree, can you Skype back in to the show, and we can deal with this situation? If you're still watching, Skype back in. Tom's in the house. He says, thank you. And let's see. Yes, I said early on, yes. So Derek says yes. Derek swings a lot of weight around here. Blue says, lovely Rolex. Okay, let's take a look. Carlos, can you Skype in? Or are you busy? Let's take a look at the details on this watch. He's a verified dealer since 2013, 507 reviews. So it's in Atlanta. Okay. The dealer is unavailable until August 31st, so that's tomorrow. That's just because it's Sunday, right? Okay, so here's the deal on the watch. Okay, it's supposedly very good condition. It looks very good from the photos. Rolex Oyster Perpetual, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Let me know if you guys see any issues. Original box. Okay. Woman's watch. It's in Crown and Caliber has it. Crown and Caliber has it. Let's see. What was the year of it? Oh, 2010, which that's good. That's good. That's a good year, I think. All right, what do you guys think? Let's see. Pisto says it's Crown and Caliber. I think the discount code is save. Okay. Here's Bree. Okay, Bree.
Yes,
Do you like that watch?
I do like that watch.
Okay, we're trying to figure out. Let's see. Kyle, what are you talking about? A discount code? You can actually get a discount on the watch? I thought it was Swiss Watch Expo. No. Offer them 2,500, says Tim. Okay. Tim says try to get a deal. Okay, so how do we do this? All right, let me put you next to it. Let me see how we do this. This is not working. Why is this not working? Trying to resize this window here. Not letting me do it. I'm going to do it this way. Okay. All right. So, okay, there we got you're up there in the screen. Okay. So, all right. How do I do this? Suggest a price. Okay. The seller does not accept price suggestions, so that kills that idea.
Oh.
So it's an all or nothing thing. Secure payment first. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have to figure out what the best move is on this. And let's see. Let's see. Check the Crown and Caliber site to see if they have it cheaper there. Says Fisto. Oh, Carlos is calling in. Okay, let's add Carlos to the call. Okay. Crown and Caliber site to see if they have it cheaper there. Okay. All right,
Hi,
we got Carlos. He's in the dark.
How are you?
Okay, Carlos. What do you think we should do here? Do you think we should try to contact? I should try to contact Crown and Caliber direct tomorrow and try to get a better deal and just wire them the money direct?
Honestly, I think that I am not the best one to give advice about purchasing second-hand watches. I really don't have that experience and thing, but seems reasonable. I understand that Crown Caliber is a very well-known dealer, and yeah. Anyway, it seems better to purchase directly through them. You can check on.
Yeah, because
on their
they've got to pay a commission to Chrono 24, right?
Yeah, I understand.
So yeah.
Why don't you check their website?
Yeah. I think that's what I think I'm going to call them tomorrow and tell them about the show, right? And that they're going to get a lot of visibility and see what kind of deal they can work out with me.
To turn a lot. Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
The show.
Seems a good idea.
And that they're going to get a lot.
The watch is great. It's great. It's really a very, very nice watch.
It's very attractive, the dial, don't you think?
Yeah. In fact, they are. I checked before when you told about if the OP26 has been discontinued, that it's still in production, and in fact, they currently have another one with the 369 Arabic numerals, but that one that you recently saw, is nicer because I really like the details on the markers. It's
Yeah.
very nice watch.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's an attractive piece. Leslie makes a good suggestion. She says, I think you should call them directly for a deal. The watch has been up for sale for a while. And Jaden says Crown and Caliber is always well priced. Let's see. And Tom says if you deal directly, they won't have to pay the Chrono 24 fees, so they should give you money off. So, yeah, I'm going to call them and tell them about the show and see if they want to talk some turkey.
Maybe also another thing that you can consider. Probably, I understand. I don't know if they service the watches, and I know your opinion about servicing the watch. But considering that you are purchasing from them, maybe it will worth to have an update information about if they can service the watch and give you information about the accuracy and the precision of the watch.
Well, hopefully, I would hope that it hasn't been touched, that it hasn't been opened by anybody. That would be I would prefer that, to tell you the truth. And assuming it's running accurately and all that, I'd rather it not be touched by some amateur.
But
So,
and that they are a reputable seller
yeah.
for
I just would prefer not a watch that had not been opened personally. Okay, Kyle's in the house. I want to say this too, Craig. They still make the 26 millimeter Oyster Perpetual new. You can probably get one for 4K brand new. She likes any of the current dial clocks, of course. Well, okay, I didn't know they still made it. The guy at the AD said that they didn't still make it. They only had the 28. That's what he told me on Friday. Maybe he doesn't know. Clive says truth. Good point, Kyle. Okay, well, hey, this is going to be fun. I'm going to talk to them and see what ideas they have. Tell them about the show, and we will see. They don't make the blue dial like Leslie's anymore. Otherwise, we would have bought new. Okay, got you. Yeah, got you, Kyle. But she got a beautiful watch, so there's no issues there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let everybody go, and I'm going to talk to them tomorrow and see what they say. Maybe they want to talk some turkey. Okay. So, yeah.
Sounds good.
There are a lot of options. And there are other ADs around. There are other options. So we'll find somebody that wants to play ball. And Kyle says he's wrong. They only make the 28 millimeter date just, but OP is still offered in 26. Okay, so maybe he was talking about the date just. Maybe he was confused about what I was asking. Gotcha. All right, I'm going to let you guys go, and it's been a really big show. Really big show. And Carlos, your trip is, you're still overseas?
Yes, I am expecting to go back to Panama this week. Hopefully this week.
Okay.
And to end this trip, I really need to go back. I am missing.
You look good though. You look like the trip's been good to you.
Maybe I think that I have to be on a let's say on a better diet.
Okay, you've been eating a lot, huh?
Much celebration and more exercise.
You've been indulging. You've been indulging.
Yeah. Definitely.
But it's not nothing bad. It's a break.
Yeah.
Like vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is the 2-month break almost every day. A bit long break. But yeah, definitely. Anyway, I will have to comply with a quarantine for 2 weeks on Panama, and maybe I will start again a vegan diet. that I tried before, and in fact I like it.
All right. Well, yeah, but I mean, sometimes a little bit of fish here and there, a little bit, I don't eat a lot of red meat, but, from time to time, I think strictly going without it I'm not so sure about that. But, all right. Well, sounds good. We'll when you get back settled in, you'll have to Skype in.
Okay.
And somebody asked if you're wearing the dokes. I'm pretty sure you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the dokes on. Absolutely.
I don't have any other watch here.
Yeah, that's right. All right, good move. Thank you guys for calling in, and I will keep you guys posted on this as things develop.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting developments. Very interesting developments happening. And let me make sure that we've got that I'm up to date on emails. Oh, for crying out loud, this thing's not sized right. I'm having trouble getting these windows to cooperate. There we go. All right. And 31 millimeter. 31 millimeter. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be too big. That's going to be too big for the lovely Brianna. Definitely. Going to be too big. Interesting watch, though. Very interesting. Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to show the lovely Bree's website, briefitdance.com, and we're going to wrap this puppy up. Wrap it up.